I'm imagining that it is live. I am live. What is going on, YouTube and weight loss? It's your boy C Dub, and I am live. So I am here today to talk with you guys about it being a year on YouTube. I cannot believe it. I mean, it's amazing to even think or consider that it has been 1 year since I started this journey here on YouTube. So as you guys pop in, you can leave me some comments over here, but and some questions over here. I'd appreciate it. But to think about a year in review, by the way, I hope you guys like my fresh new cut. You know what I'm saying? Got the beard all trimmed up, looking a little bit, good for peeps. But ultimately speaking, it's been 1 year on YouTube, which is a crazy journey from my very first video with my, beard this big, it couldn't even fit in the camera, all the way till, making this live today to 3,000. I can't even remember how many subscribers, 3,370 something odd subscribers. So it has been quite the journey here on YouTube. What's happening, Spivey? Good to see you, my friend. And there's a lot of little things in there that we can go over and look at. I was thinking about maybe taking a minute during the live today to pull up my analytics and go over some of the crazy, stats so you guys can kind of see how much the channel's grown. What's going on, Dennis? Thanks for joining me today. But it has been a whirlwind year. I'm telling you, 1 year on YouTube, trying to help people's lives and trying to get people going. I know that there's been several guys that have guys and gals that have said that I've helped them a lot. So that keeps me going on here, and changing and helping people's lives gets me going on here, man. Thank you, Mr. Gomez. I appreciate you, man. It has been a great year. I hope everybody's enjoying it for the year. You got your mojo today. Thank you for the encouragement, man. Listen, hey, that's what I'm here to do, is to encourage everybody to not only lose weight, but just be a better person. So with that said, a couple of weird statistics out there that over the year that I've noticed. So when you first start, man, thanks, Jim, man. I appreciate you, man. I really do. When you first start on YouTube, the ultimate goal is to get 100 subscribers. I mean, that's what everybody, when you first sign up, you're like, I want to get 100 people on my YouTube channel listening to what I have to say. So I started that journey out January 20th of last year. And it didn't move very quick. I'm going to tell you what, that first 100 felt like I was never going to get there. So I really spent a lot of time on a lot of different forums and on Facebook chatting with people, trying to not go out there and say, join my YouTube, please, 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 I'm begging you. But at the same time, trying to help people. And then if they'd ask me more questions, I'd say, you can check out more information on my YouTube. And trying to get that going was a difficult task. And I finally broke that 100 subscriber barrier. And I remember a lot of guys along the way in my first 100, like Lloyd, like, Randy, Randy truck driver back in the day, Randy the truck driver, and the OMAD outlaw, and Julie, and the OMAD man, and tattooed woman. I mean, a lot of people that right there in the very beginning when I was starting the channel, in my first like 100 subscribers, and a lot of course, family and people like that. And so when I got to 100, I thought there's no way in the first year I would make it to 1,000. And I'm sitting here today at 3,300 plus. So it definitely grew bigger and better than I thought it would. But there is a lot of hiccups along the way on YouTube. So, and I know this is a weight loss channel and you guys may not care too much about my journey. And thank you so much, Jimmy, for the 5, man. I appreciate you. Jimmy, you are the man. I love the emoji too, man. That is an adorable emoji, guys. Give it up for Jimmy for showing some support. And hi, Norma. It is good to see you. Mr. Lab, it is Bing Lab. Good to see you, man. Keep up the great work. I'm going to try, man. I'm going to try. But I wanted to give you guys a little bit of insight. And again, thanks, Jimmy. I love you, man. It means a lot. So ultimately, when I started the journey, I was like, I'm in a situation. What's up, Joe, man? Hey, thank you so much for the congratulations, man. I appreciate you. Thank you for the kind words yourself, man. You're means a lot, man. So we're in that situation where you've got to now work your way up to 1,000, and then you have to work your way up to 4,000 watch hours to be able to be a partner of YouTube. And so I worked at that. I never thought I could see 4,000 watch hours. Those watch hours, so hard to get. That's more than 250,000 watch minutes. And so I remember going along at about 500 subscribers, and I see that I'm going to reach 1,000 subscribers long before I ever get to 4,000 watched hours. And I'm like, man, it's frustrating. And I actually did my first live, and that was the first time I realized that watch time is weird, because when you do a live, you get a lot of watch time. And anybody that wants to start a YouTube channel, that's something for them to learn, is when you sit down and you have, right now 16 people. Hopefully we can get those numbers up to 40. By the way, if you smash like, it'll get that out in front of more people, and it'll get more people realizing this. And it's another topic I want to talk about there too. But in order to do that, I started to do lives once a week, and that really started to pick up the momentum and watch time. But my whole point right now is right now, and what's happening, Ryan, today I have 1.5 million watch minutes. So wrap your head around that. I never thought a million minutes of people watching me on the internet, but I'm so far beyond the 4,000 required watch hours. It's not even funny. So it really just goes to show you that, YouTube's one of those things where it goes slow, but when it starts going up, it goes up. And so it's done well for me in the past. But I wanted to talk slightly about this month of January and the fact that I've made it through now 20 days of January, posting every single day of the week. And I have some great videos coming up this week. So I'm going to hopefully make it through all 30 days and being able to post a video a day. But this is something that I want to give guys a warning on right here today, is that I have received a message. I've received about 7 messages in the last week, strangely, from people that are asking me where I'm at and where my presence has been on YouTube. And I'm a little taken aback by that. A couple on Instagram, I got tweeted once, and somebody commented here on YouTube, like, where have you been? Why aren't you posting videos anymore? And I'm like, I'm posting every day this month. And they're like, what? I'm not getting your videos. So I wanted to take 1 second to let you guys know that when you're in YouTube, they have this algorithm thing that produces whether or not your video is worth putting out to people. And so there's a lot of factors that go into that, including how long somebody watches you. That's one of the most important things. If people are watching your video from the beginning to the end, you do pretty well on that. And then the comments and the likes and the thumbs up and those kind of things help too. But watch time is very important. And my watch time is really good. I mean, my videos average over 7 minutes, which most people's are about 5, from what I read on YouTube. So being able to hold somebody's attention for 7 minutes is a little bit better. And so it should get rhythm going there. But we are maybe lacking a little bit sometimes when I post videos on comments. So if you're not commenting on my videos, comment on my videos. Even if I'm just giving you a thanks back and you're just giving me a good job, good video, it really does help the computer say, okay, there's people engaging in what he's doing, and that makes all the difference in the world. So even when you get off of this thing, go back to the replay and comment. Make sure you like them. Those things help. But this is the thing that I think a lot of people don't realize, is just because you subscribe to this channel, just because you subscribe to me, does not mean YouTube puts my videos in front of you. And I know that that's crazy. That's why you hit the sub button, right? But YouTube looks at it like, okay, you might be interested in some of its content in the future. And if I have a video that's doing really well, they're going to put it in front of you. Like my 10,000 step video that has really taken off and just seems to be living beyond the time that it lives. Every 28 days, that video is leading my views. So that video didn't die after a week like most videos. That video continues to go out, and YouTube continues to put that in front of people. YouTube thinks that that is a good video that people want to watch. So in course of that, when I have a video that does that, which catches the algorithm in the right way, and enough people have commented, enough people have liked, and enough people have done whatever, that video will go in front of you if you subscribe. But just because I posted a video this week does not mean that it's ever going to come across your feed. So what you have to do, as crazy as it sounds, is hit the ring bell notification. So when I started to get those messages, I started to look back, and I saw that 50% of my subscribers have not turned on the notification. So that's just something for you to think about. If you turn on the notification, then they will put my videos in front of you regardless of what YouTube thinks about it. And the more of you that hit the notification bell and then comment and like my video when it first comes out, the more successful that video will be moving forward, especially if you watch it from start to finish. So those are just some simple ways that you can help me and get this thing rolling in the right direction. So if you have a comment or a question, please leave it right over here, guys. I am super excited to be here. 1 year on the platform is amazing. I can't tell you guys enough how much it means to me to be into this YouTube thing and knowing that I'm going out there supporting and helping other people. That's an amazing feeling. So I appreciate each and every one of you. I wanted to briefly talk maybe about a couple of the videos I did this last week and kind of go over some finer points and some of the things that other people brought up. And, one of the things that I did do this week was a calories in versus calories out video. And thought it was really important to address the topic from kind of a common sense approach to it. And I think that got, some good feedback, but there are people out there that are absolutely either 100% in belief that calories in, calories out is the only way that weight loss matters. And then there's another group of people that are 100% in the corner that it does not matter. So my point in this video was that the X factor in this of whether or not a calorie is, like I said, made up science on what a unit of energy is and how we use that unit of energy, and a rough estimate according to your age and your BMI and all these other factors of exactly what all of that means. And I just wanted to state that I truly and honestly believe that the key X factor in this is your body's ability to burn energy. That is what a lot of people don't really comprehend. So I have certain individuals that I know personally. I know a guy that is about 50 years old and he has a six pack and he's never been overweight in his life. And when I'm around him, he eats so much more than I could ever eat, and he doesn't put on any weight at all. And so his body is extremely efficient at burning energy. He can eat tons of energy and his body will expend and use the energy. Thank you so much, OMAD Caroline. I appreciate you. Thank you for the 777. And God bless you for that. I get the 777 there. And you know what I'm saying? I feel blessed to be on here for a year. And I promise I'm going to catch up in the chat for a minute. I also think that, by the way, I watched OMAD Caroline. I watched your video today on antibiotics. And I totally think you're doing the right thing. You got to have a little bit of food with it, and having that little teeny bit that you have to take with your antibiotic, just get through it, right back to OMAD. You're good to go. I think that's good stuff. And congratulations on the still 0.4 pound weight loss, even though you have to be on an antibiotic. I think that's amazing. So before I hop back onto the chat, keep in mind, keep that chat lit so I can go back over and have some things to talk about. Keep writing questions and answers and comments about how much weight you've lost. But I wanted to say that your body can be less efficient than somebody else's body at burning calories. So at the end of the day, if you are struggling in that category, you've got to be careful about what you're putting in your body more than certain people. And you can never judge it by what the internet or some book says your metabolism should be burning, because it may not work at the same efficiency that someone else's does. And that is a huge thing that I think is missed in the calories in, calories out format. Energy balance is going to be different from every single one of us. And it's going to be different depending on male and female. It's going to be different depending on how overweight we are. It's going to be different depending on how old we are. So it is going to adjust the older we get too. So you have to constantly be adjusting it. And you guys that are in the middle of a weight loss journey, as you lose weight, it is going to slow down too. So it's just more and more factors that fall into it. And it can never just be looked at as simply hormones or simply intake of food. It is obviously both things, and they all work together for a big big collaboration of what your weight gains or losses are. So let me catch back up because I am all the way to where it moved out of the screen. Jimmy, what is happening, man? Thanks for joining me today. You think there's an extra step? You have to hit all the notification buttons and the default personalization button, which is still limits videos. Yeah, look, you guys, it is really crazy to think, and it a little bit saddens me to think that I'm getting comments from people now on a frequent basis that aren't watching my videos. So make sure you do all of the little things if you're a big fan and you want to make sure you watch my videos, make sure the ring notifications on. Like he's saying, the default personalization notifications, get it on. Make sure you guys are checking my community tabs. Just go look up Taking Down the Fats channel and then making sure there's no videos sort by newest. Do all these little things to make sure you're watching all my videos, because lately, I'm telling you, I guarantee you, for whatever reason, YouTube is not putting my videos out as often. I can even see it in my impressions. When I go into my analytics, they're putting it in front of less people's faces. They used to put it in front of 50,000 people, and now they're putting it in front of 10. And I don't know why YouTube is doing that, but they're not putting it in front of people that subscribe to me, which really stinks. So if you could help a brother out by doing all those things, and then of course commenting, liking, sharing, and the big thing I just said, it's sharing. Put my videos out there on your own, call them out, holler them out, put them on your social media, help a brother out, because I feel like YouTube's kind of shading me on that a little bit. I don't know why, but this time, whereas back in let's say April of last year, YouTube was pushing me a little bit. Now they're kind of pumping the brakes. So anyways, that's something to consider. I guarantee you I have more subscribers now, and the people are watching longer, which means more people should be around, but 25 people are sitting in here now, and I used to have 50. So why is YouTube not telling people that I subscribe to right now that I'm live? Why am I only getting 5 likes on my live video? Like, hey, look, I'm going to go live today in 12 hours when I used to get 30. It's not that less people are liking me, because they're obviously, my analytics say they're watching more. It's just they're not putting it out there. So make sure your notifications are on. So congratulations. Thank you, Cameron. I appreciate you, man. Thanks so much. And Tattooed Woman, thanks for joining me. And thank you so much for saying congratulations. I appreciate you. And OMAD Caroline, no problem. I hope you get, your sickness goes away soon. I hope you're feeling better. I know when I had knee surgery, I was doing OMAD and I had to take an antibiotic, and I would eat a half a granola bar with my pill because I would throw up if I didn't. So I would eat that half a granola bar, would hold me over, and I still called it OMAD. I still think it's OMAD. I was only eating for the intent of putting something in my stomach to soak up some of the antibiotic, and that was it. And I think that's what you're doing, and I think it counts as OMAD still, and stick with it. You'll get over the sickness soon. Everything will be better. Everybody's 100% different. You lost 50 pounds during OMAD. Listen, hey guys, congrats to my man Cameron Parker here, man. 50 pounds doing OMAD at 50 years old. It's the best decision he ever made. Listen, me too, man. You and I both. I mean, I know I'm a little younger and everything, but 100%, 100% the best decision that I've made is eating one meal a day. And thanks, John. Thanks for congratulating me, man. I appreciate you. Thank you for being one of my strong weight loss warriors here, man. I appreciate you, John. How's the weight loss going this week for you, John? Dennis, when is the best time to get your blood glucose after a meal to see the results on a specific food? I checked before 91, an hour and a half, 95. I think that, some of my keto people would know better because they check their blood sugars better. I see that YouTube's pushing it out a little bit more. We got 29. It'll like a couple people, and let's push it out a little bit more. Maybe we can get up to 50 today. Maybe YouTube will show me some love. But I think our keto people would know more, Dennis. But I think that generally blood glucose takes time. So probably 2 hours after is it going to be your peak, and then it'll start tapering down from there. But you should always test it a couple of different times throughout, just to kind of get a balance of what your blood sugars are and how they're, moving around and all that good stuff. So Jordan Robbins, what's up, man? Jordan, hey, everybody, look at this. My peoples are starting to show up. Jordan Robbins, just so you guys know, Ram Rumble tournament champion. We had 36 schools show up at our wrestling match over the weekend. And my man, Jordan Robbins, won the championship of 36 different schools, including he won a championship, and one of the guys in his bracket was the #1 guy in the 757. So congratulations to Jordan. Rashad, also my homie, got himself a 4th place finish in that big tournament. And of course, my man Cameron. What's going on, peoples? It's good to have some of my wrestlers popping up in the live chat. These guys are working hard. A lot of them are going to see me tomorrow bright and early in the morning. So I appreciate each and every one of them. I'm trying to impact them just like I'm trying to impact you guys on this weight loss journey. So when did I get my hair cut? Yeah, not this morning. I didn't have it, did I, Jordan? Not, yeah, I cut my hair. We had practice earlier today. I cut my hair about 2 hours ago. I just felt like I needed a new fresh look. Hopefully I'm looking, handsome. You know what I'm saying? So, of course, I like having the buzz, but as my hair is thinning, it starts to make me think that, I'm not going to be able to grow it back out, which scares me a little bit. So, you know what I'm saying? You got to get the shout out, man. Yeah, Brooks, what's going on? And wow, what is happening? How you doing? How you doing? You want to make sure you understood what you were saying when you clicked on the notification bells. There are 2 options: personalization and all. In other words, you can have notifications enabled and still not get it. Yeah, you gotta. I don't 100% understand it, Jimmy. But I do know that YouTube won't push it out to everybody. And so you got to make sure you go to the options and you get to the one, I guess it says all. Would that be the one they want to click, Jimmy, to make sure that they're getting the videos and they're getting hit up? So, and then Miss Coleman, thank you so much, Miss Coleman, for saying thank you for a year. Amy is one of my wrestlers' moms, actually, as you can see right above it, Brooks. So a lot of my wrestling people turning up today. I appreciate each one of you. And Miss Coleman helped out so much this weekend. She did an amazing job. So I'm going to lifting and change my mind. So, all right. So if anybody's got any questions, definitely throw it up. You get notified every day, Dennis. I appreciate that, man. And Jim, what is happening? Why are you rolling your eyes, Jim? What's going on, my man? So I wanted to talk real quick also about the fact that so when we're talking about calories in and calories out, like we were talking about a little bit ago, when you're talking about that, the one extreme is the people that are like the calories only matter, and the other extreme is Jim Brown's Roger. What's happening, Roger, man? Hey, Roger, how much weight have you lost? Turn it up in the chat for Roger, man. Roger's somebody I know. Also, he's one of my coaches, and he's been on this weight loss journey. I've been trying to help him out, so he's getting smaller every day. So 110 pounds Roger's lost, guys. So that's a guy right there in my real life, my real circle. That's putting it to work and doing the work. And thanks again to you for all the help you did this weekend as well. So, but the calories in, calories out. The other side is the side that says that we can go on and we can do whatever we want to do. What's happening, Cade, man? It's good to see you too, brother. Whatever we want to do in our weight loss, and we can eat as much as we want to eat and not gain any weight either. And that level of thinking comes from a lot these days from Jason Fong and Obesity Code, which is probably it's like the fasting Bible. And so, and I know that he talks a great deal about things that make a lot of sense. But I think that part of it, because I've definitely read it and looked into it, and I think part of that we're missing, part of that people are kind of not quite grasping, is that he's not just saying that you can eat as much as you want, but what he's saying is when you're fasting, your body gets to get its hormones back in balance, and when they are in balance, they work together better to tell you when you've had enough and when you haven't had enough. And so you begin to learn your body's signals again, like we knew when we were young and we were little kids. Because if you put food in front of a little kid and you don't make them eat, and you're not like, eat everything that's on your plate, the little kid will regulate his food so much better than adults will, because they're not broken in that cycle. So what Jason Fong is really ultimately trying to say is, if you just fast, what'll happen is your hormones will begin to balance themselves out. And therefore, you'll know when you've eaten enough and when you haven't. And therefore, you won't ever have to count calories and you'll never have to do the part of weight loss that we don't want to work. I think that if we sat down and had a conversation with Jason Fong, and I would love to, of course, have him on the channel one day, and maybe one day I will. One of the questions I would love to ask him is, do you honestly think if somebody is eating a fat-based diet, sort of like the ketogenic diet, would they be able to eat massive amounts of food as long as they stayed on that diet and did intermittent fasting? And I can almost guarantee you that he would say, well, no, they can't just eat anything as much as they want, because ultimately, even though you're eating fat and your body's used to burning body fat, it is going to store the extra food that you have eaten no matter what. And that's kind of where it goes. But I think what he would say is, you're going to feel that you've eaten enough. And once you have that satiated feeling, you're then going to be able to move forward from there, knowing that, you're okay. So I think that that is kind of when he says, listen, we're doing it wrong. And he also wants you to know that this idea that calories are the way to go, or eat less, move more often. Somebody made that comment on my YouTube channel just earlier today. On my video, they said, it's been proven that eat less, move more often doesn't work. Well, first of all, eat less, move more often does work. Is it sustainable? Maybe not. But here's what it should say, and here's how to make that work. It's eat less often, move more often. Now we're on to something. It is not a matter of eating less food. It's eating less, can't even speak today. Eating less amount of time during the day, spending less time eating all of the time, if you will. And so I think that if you can wrap your head around the fact that I need to eat once a day, twice a day, you can get away with eating breakfast and dinner and you'll still see results. Although I think you're going to move your insulin and you're going to mess your hormones up a little bit. But if you can just narrow a window from somewhere from 8 hours to a half an hour a day, and you can figure out how that works and balance with your personality, with the way your body feels and who you are, you're going to be on the right track. And I think that's where things need to go. So Michelle, man, thank you for saying congratulations. I appreciate you. Lots of people showing my man Jim a lot of love. Appreciate you, man. You got your first 10 pounds down, 70 more to go. You started January 2nd. And Dennis, that's amazing, man. 10 pounds in what, 18 days? That's good stuff, man. All you got to do is continue to grind at it, man. Thank you for saying congrats on Brooks. Jason Fong is the king. He's definitely on the cutting edge of some good stuff. And Jason Fong is definitely on my team, Team Weight Loss Warriors, man. He's trying to help people. He's trying to change their lives, which is what we should all be able to do. Look, tattooed woman with Jason Fong needs to make himself a little bit more clear. I think that he's in a dangerous spot too, because whatever he says, right? Whatever he says, he is going to be quoted and looked at and analyzed and picked apart with like a fine-tooth comb, right? So if he says one thing, he has to stay to that thing. And so being that the science is new, it's very hard to make a full-on commitment to anything and not be able to kind of put yourself in a situation where you have, said something that you regret. So he's got to make sure he knows exactly what he's saying when he says it. And there's a little bit of politics to that. And it would be nice to sit down and hear every single one of his thoughts about everything. But he's got to be able to make sure that he's not saying something that isn't been proven or at least that he can stand up and argue back to, so that he doesn't look, bad in the future. Because it only takes him saying one wrong thing that gets kiboshed for the legs of the table to fall out. And he has such power right now in the intermittent fasting community that if he lost his credibility, it would really hurt intermittent fasting. So I think he understands that the gratitude, or the gravity of that, and he's trying to make sure he comes off and is able to wiggle out of any situation he puts himself into. But he is a guy that's fighting the fight on our side, which is appreciated. And what is going on, Mr. Hurt, man? Thank you for popping in. I appreciate you guys. Definitely getting a lot of love and support from my battling community. I appreciate all of you. So, speaking of that, why don't you guys over on the side? You said Fitbit was a game changer for me. Well, that's an interesting topic, Jimmy. Tell me exactly what you mean over there while I give you a little bit of, is Fitbit, you mean like an actual Fitbit, or was that a book? Because I'm not familiar with what you mean. If you mean like counting your steps, or you're tracking your micros and everything, but that does. So leave me a comment. Let me know what you're talking about. But I think that does bring something interesting into play. And I was thinking about doing a separate video about this, but since it got brought up right there with that and popped into my head, I'll just go ahead and touch on it now. So last Christmas, December 25th, I got this here iWatch. Oh, you guys can see my steps right there. I'm a little bit low today because it was like 20 degrees outside, 11,600. And at wrestling practice, I didn't get to walk because we had to put mats back down from our big tournament this weekend. But I got my iWatch for Christmas last year. And so along the way this year, I ended up having to upgrade my phone from an iPhone 7 to an iPhone 11 due to the fact that, my mom had an incident and dropped her phone in the toilet. Let's just put it that way. And so her phone died, and giving her my phone, because she's, not very technology savvy. She didn't want a brand new iPhone 11. So she didn't want to jump that many numbers up from her like 6. So I gave her my 8 and I upgraded mine to an 11. And in the process of upgrading my phone to an 11, it created all kinds of drama because I guess the guy didn't realize, but some of my data was saved into the cloud, but my cloud data was full on its limit. So when I transferred my phone, I lost a lot of stuff. Guys, I lost 6 hours of audio recordings that I had put together to release a book about my life and my life story, my weight loss journey. 6 hours of me talking that I was going to type up this year and try to get an ebook going. So a lot of interesting stuff, all of my YouTube notes, all of my hashtags, all kinds of different things that I lost in the process of this phone, which has been a pretty stressful thing, on top of last week, all the tournament and all the drama there that you guys know that I was going through. But one of the things that happened was I lost all of my iPhone stats for an entire year. And I'm going to tell you guys that I was like, wow, that sucks, because it would tell you have consecutive days at 10,000 steps, consecutive days at 15,000 steps. Here's your yearly average. All of that stuff was stored from my phone, and it was stored from my watch into my phone, and it was all gone. And so when I reset this whole thing, my watch basically reset all of its information like I was a brand new person starting completely over. And so I realized after about 3 days on my new situation with my new, linked up, it's the same old watch, but, newly being linked back to my new phone, that I was less motivated to push it than I was with my consecutive days done notifications and all the things that I got on my phone previous to it, which ultimately doesn't make sense. So my phone would say, you've had 374 days straight of burning 500 calories through walking. Didn't get that notification. I'm like, whatever, and I was getting a little bit frustrated with that. Now I've picked it back up. I'm like, what are you thinking? And I'm back into the swing of things. And I'm like, let's start over and let's make it strong. And I'm starting stronger than I was when I started back then. And I'm getting more motivated with it. But the reason I bring this up as something that I found is interesting is I didn't realize how much this stupid watch was motivating me to be better, and how by keeping track of my heart rate and my fitness and my calories burned, the hours I stood up, and all of these different stats, and me being able to look at them and analyze them and see what I was doing good and what I needed to improve on, and know that I got 11,000 a day and I need 17,000 tomorrow to make up for it, really is helpful. It really is helpful. Now, there's going to be no link in the description to buy an iWatch, and no, I don't have what do you call it, or the link pays me some money for doing it or whatever. None of that stuff is going on here. I'm just speaking straight up that I now realize that my iWatch is a motivator, and I think that having some kind of fitness app, my Fitness Pal, some kind of device, some kind of Fitbit to assist you, it might also assist you in actually doing more work, because you're able to look directly at your results, and it's not just something you're thinking about in your head. You can literally see what your results are. And then that reminds me also that my Fitness Pal, when I was losing weight, I didn't use it for a lot of things. Some people log all their food into it and they do all of that, and I think that's an amazing tool. But I just put my weight log and my weekly weight login in my Fitness Pal, and being able to look back, which now is erased again because my data is gone, which is very unfortunate. But I was able to look at every week of my weight loss journey for the entire 11 months that I lost weight. And that is a powerful thing to look at, to be able to look back. And I did do a video on it a while ago on my looking at my Fitness Pal. And I think looking at that video was an amazing thing, because I was able to say, oh, wow, I didn't lose a single pound in the month of September. Wow. I started September and left September without anything lost. And that is, something that, I felt like I always lost weight. I felt like I crushed it every single week, no matter what, but I clearly didn't. And I did have giant weeks where it was 10 pounds. And I had also weeks where it was a half a pound, and weeks when it was 3/4 of a pound, or 0.4, like Omed Caroline had this week. I had those weeks. I had weeks that were struggles, and weeks that were tough, and weeks that I crushed it. And so being able to look at that on paper is a very important thing. So if you are struggling to maybe walk, if you are struggling to maybe lift weights, a fitness app might be something that can help you. You can also track things inside an app, or, a watch or something, like when you're lifting. Okay, I did this many reps at this weight. I did this many reps at this weight. I did this. And you can look back and you can see right there on paper, hey, look, I have now know that I've lifted weights and I've been increasing my weight. And now look, I've gained 15 pounds of strength here in the last 3 months. Or on the other side of that, you can look at it and say, hey, wait a minute, I'm doing 5 pounds less this month than I did last month. Why is that? Is there something wrong with me? Am I not pushing myself too much? Am I taking it too easy on myself? Do I need to increase my weights? And it'll give you a chance to look at some of that and take some accountability for what's going on. So let me look back over the chat. But that's just something for you guys to think about. A fitness app might be something that helps you out. So you said your Garmin being able to record 2 spots. So let's see here. Awareness, accountability, nothing magical, just awareness and encouragement. That's it, Jimmy. I think you're right. I'm going to tell you, I would have called shenanigans on you before I got my iWatch. I'm like, whatever, dude. If you're going to walk, you're going to walk. An hour of walking is an hour of walking is an hour of walking. But if I walk for an hour, this is what my watch does for me. If I walk for an hour, I can walk for an hour at 15 miles per minute, or I can walk at it at 25 miles per minute, right? I still walk for an hour, but the amount that I'm walking is different. And now the phone calls me on it. So I know if I'm walking 5 days in a row, and then I'm getting on day 6 and I'm walking at 22, I know that I'm not pushing myself enough. And that is not always easily seen when you don't have it right in front of your face. When you look at your watch and you're like, uh-oh, I'm at 18 and I should be at 15, that can be a big red flag that can really help encourage you to move more and to be able to get that kind of accountability. Now, You've also caught my attention here, Jimmy. I need to know what you did to get 44,000 steps. I need a comment right now. I can't even look. My record in steps, my personal best is 37,000, I believe. 37,000 steps last year on the Ram Rumble weekend when I had run this tournament. I did 37,000 and I did not sit down from 7 in the morning until 10 o'clock at night. I was moving the whole time and I did not get that many steps. That is amazing amount of steps, and you should be completely excited about that. This year, I only got 27. So I was 10,000 less this year, but I intentionally, last year, I went on a walk in the morning before the tournament started. I got up and I went walking to clear my head. And this year, I intentionally did not. I sat until the tournament started. And that's why my step count was 10,000 less. But man, that is an incredible amount. And I also had an annual average of 15,000. One of the most heartbreaking things too, Jimmy, I'm going to tell you what, was when I got my new watch, I wasn't able to, or I got my new phone, I guess. I was not, it doesn't say that my average was 15 anymore. And so my first 2 days, I was a little under 15, and looking at it, it said my average was like 13. And it kind of depressed me to think, like, why is my average lower than 15? I've always averaged 15 in a day. And so I was pretty heartbroken about that, but it's creeped back up to 15 now. So I'm back in the green there and I'm cruising again. But you know, it is what it is. But I do think accountability and having a fitness device to do that is pretty crucial. And thank you for congratulating me, Hunt. I appreciate you. Thank you for being a weight loss warrior. Yeah, my man, Jim over there, 20,000. Actually, he hit 22,000, Jim, is what your number was on Saturday. He always competes with me on wrestling match days, see who can walk the most. And he got 22 when I got 27, and he actually beat me on day 2 for the first time ever. So congratulate him. He walked more than C-Dub. This is a guy that's lost 110 pounds and you know, still has I think he says he has about 100 more to go, maybe 90 more to go, and he still beat me on Saturday. So I ended up, when we checked our watches, I think he was at I can't remember on day 2. I think he was at I was at 17, he was at 19 on day 2. So you think about the 2-day combination there too. We just crushed a bunch of steps, and congratulations to him for beating me there. And I do have to tell you this one story about my man Jim over there. So last year, he was bigger than he is this year. I don't know what his exact weight was back last year, but he was probably 50, 60 pounds heavier than he is now. He had just started his weight loss journey with me. And I mean, I was already well into my weight loss journey. I had already actually lost all of my weight at the state tournament last year. And we were at the hotel together, and he was just starting he had just started at the beginning of that wrestling season. And so he was probably down 40 or 50. And we were in the hotel room after the tournament's over, and we had both checked his Fitbit and my iPhone watch, and I had less steps than him. And I don't remember the exact number, but I want to say it was about 15,000 steps is what I had. And he had like 16. So I was like, wow, you beat me today. Congratulations. And he was hustling. And this was a big guy hustling with me at 180 pounds to try to get this guy, you know, going. So we're sitting in the hotel room, and he gets on the phone with his wife, and he says, "You'll never believe this. I beat Coach today. I have more steps than him." So then he looks over to me, and what do you guys think I was doing? I'm going to tell you what I was doing. I was putting my shoes back on. I was already in bed. I was putting my shorts back on. I was putting my shoes back on. He's like, "What are you doing?" And I'm like, "No, you just said you beat me. It ain't bedtime yet." And I got up out of the bed. I walked out of the hotel room. So I'm walking down the hallway. I turn around, and he's got his shoes on, and he starts pacing the hallway. So then I'm like, I cannot let this dude beat me. So I went down into the fitness area. I got on the treadmill, and I started doing my best to jog. You guys know I have the bad leg, so I was swinging it and jogging and swinging it and jogging and swinging it. And one of my wrestlers was over there lifting weights. I had another one on the treadmill next to me, losing weight for the next day. And I'm just grinding away. He comes downstairs. He sees me. He starts pacing the hallways. And at this point, he's too large to jog. So he's not going to jog with me. You know what I'm saying? So he's thinking in his head, now he's got to stay up even longer to keep up with me. And he eventually went to bed. I eventually beat him that day. And so he's vowed to beat me ever since that day. And this Saturday was the first time he beat me. And the crazy thing is, normally we're comparing all throughout the day each other. How many steps do you got? How many steps do you got? And this weekend I said, no, we'll just go at the end of the day. Who did the best did the best. So I looked at him and I hit the button, and he had got me. Now I was this close to going home and walking. I'm being honest with everybody. I was this close to going home and walking and sending him a picture at 11:59 of my steps to show him that he really didn't beat me. But instead of doing that, I just went ahead and said, you know what? He deserves it. He's been working extremely hard, not only to get his steps up, but to get the weight off of him and all kinds of different fasting protocols, trying to find exactly which one fits him best and his needs. So I'm proud of you, Jim, man. Keep up the good work, brother. All right, let's go. 44. I still can't believe that. Congratulations, Gold. Thank you so much. I hope you get much more growth in your channel this year. Yeah, me too. We'll see. If I end up next year, we're sitting down and we're having a chat and I'm at 6,000, almost 7,000 subscribers, 6,600, 700. I mean, I'll still be okay with that. I'd like to see at least as much as this year, but I have a feeling that 2020 is going to do some amazing things for me. What I would love to see, and maybe the Weight Loss Warrior community can help me, I would love to see one of these larger channels that talk about intermittent fasting feature my story. So maybe if you watch another couple of channels like Fledge, like these guys, maybe you can put out there, you got to go find this guy, CW. He's got an amazing story, so they can feature me. If you look at what Fledge did for Rachel Sharp, it's just incredible. Rachel Sharp actually had 3,000 subscribers, less than I have right now when Fledge featured her. And right now she's at 36,000 subscribers. So he completely flipped her channel over, just featuring her one time. And so if in 2020 I could get on the front of the right audience, the right group of people on the right channel, I think my story speaks for itself. And I think a lot of people would be a big fan and the channel would blow up and this community would grow greatly, because I, honest to God, believe that there are a ton of people out there that need to hear my story. And I believe that if we can get it out in front of more people, I think more people will lose weight. I'm going to tell you why too. I'm going to give you guys the heads up on why I feel like my story needs to be heard. And the reason that I think it does is because I think we hear a lot of stories about people that lost weight, that did it, and they did bam, A, B, C, and they were like, this is the way to do it. And I got up every day at 5 in the morning and I ran. And these people are inspiring. And I ran 15 miles a day. I reinvented everything that I ate. I went completely to this, diet, or I went into that diet, and I totally refocused my entire life. And I spent all this time, organizing and counting calories and figuring things out. And people that are watching that, some people might get inspired, but they don't maybe get results. And so they watch them and they're like, I wish I had the discipline. I wish I had the courage. And I know that I have subscribers that say that about me too. But when you watch me and you hear me say to your face right here, I did it my way. I didn't restrict a single food. I'm standing here at 40 years old, eating what I want and doing what I want. I still lost weight and I'm keeping it off. And that we literally overcomplicate this. We literally take this weight loss thing and we want to put all of these regulations on it. But I'm standing here 100% successful, and I did it not the way that anybody else did. I did it my way, and you can do it too. And it's really a lot easier than we want to make it. And I think that that's a message that a lot of people need to hear, because if you just go do it, and if you just find the fasting protocol that fits you best, everything else will take care of itself. So hopefully in 2020, the word does get out there a little bit more, and of course, if you do want to help me grow, sharing my videos is always a good start. Whether you're on Instagram, tweet a video out, put it on your Facebook, tell your friends, when you have somebody and you're in a social circle and they're like, hey, how do I lose weight? Say, hey man, check my boy out, and then get going. Another thing too, God, this is huge. I can tell you, this is a way you want to help me blow up my channel, this is a good way to do it. You see, there's forums like Reddit where people need help. And when somebody asks a question that I've answered in a video, you, instead of answering them on a forum like Reddit, go ahead and take my video and share it with them. Say, hey, listen, this is this guy right here. You know what I'm saying? He did it. He's got an answer to your question. Here it is. Boom. And then other people from Reddit will see that and they'll click on it and they'll move that comment up the list. And that will inherently get more and more people watching my channel. And I'm going to tell you that you'd say, well, then why don't you post on Reddit? Well, if you have seen, I do. And I've had a couple of Reddit videos that have done real well. But Reddit does not like when you post your own material. They look at it when you post a video about yourself as marketing yourself. That is a problem according to Reddit. That is something they don't like. So when other people do it, though, they have no problem with it. If somebody posted a video of Thomas or Fledge or somebody like that commenting, Reddit's not going to stop that. They're going to encourage that because it's somebody else that's neutral promoting somebody else. So you can promote me on these forums and on these Facebook groups. If you're in the Fast Club, I can't get on the Fast Club and say, I've answered that video on YouTube. It makes me look like a jerk. It makes me look like somebody that's selling myself to people, but you can do it and it doesn't, do anything. So that's a great way to support me is share my channel with other people, encourage other people that you know in real life, and then the channel will grow. And from there, I think it'll be an amazing year. So let me catch back up. Yeah, Jim said I tried to kill him. I didn't try to kill him, Jim. What I did was push you. One more quick story on Jim. We were at a tournament and he was sitting, he was resting, and he'd already gotten his 10,000 in this year. And I just walked. He was sitting right here, and I just walked in front of him, back and forth, turned around, stared at him the whole time. And he was like, "What are you doing? What are you doing?" And I just kept walking. And he was like, "All right, fine." He stood up and started walking too. So, hey, listen, I'm doing my best to inspire my man Jim. I hope he knows that. It's nothing but love, man. And thanks for joining me today, Jim. I appreciate it. It means the world to me, brother. And thank you for everything you're doing. So, you said you walked around the University of Georgia after a full day of walking. Wow, only from 4 p.m. to 9 p.m. You walked fast, my man Jimmy. I can't even believe that. John, you saying you got 10K? And Platinum, what is going on, man? Thank you for joining me here on my 1-year anniversary. I appreciate you guys. You're spot on to do why your story should be heard. It's accessible to the masses. No, and thanks for saying that, Jimmy. I think that it is because I think that, the number one thing people are going to do out there in weight loss is people are going to say, buy my product. People are going to say, you should go get what I am selling to you. And people are going to do that throughout the course of almost all weight loss. And people are going to show like all of these disciplined things that they've done and all these reasons that are these unobtainable things, these outliers. That's what I'll call them. You have weight loss outliers. You have this guy that completely woke up one day as a morbidly obese person, made a decision to do all of these things and did them. And that person is 1 in a million. And then that person has such an impressive thing that people look at it and they go, oh, wow, I want to be like that guy. Well, everybody wants to be like that guy, but none of us are that guy. So what ends up happening is we fail, but everybody is C-Dub. I'm the people's champion. That's what I am, the people's champion of weight loss. If I did it, you can do it. 312 pounds, 5'9", 40 years old, 3 knee replacements, handicap sticker, struggling to breathe at night, living a life that is going nowhere but up in flames, pre-diabetic, all kinds of health issues and problems, to 100%, 180% switch to a totally different person. I did it, and it was just this simple. Hold on, wait for it. I just ate once instead of 3 times. That's it. There's the secret. I ate once, and everybody else had 3 times. And then that fixed so many things. Don't get me wrong. I don't want to gloss over all of the little changes, the walking, the lifting, the personal belief, the attitude adjustment, all of that stuff. But none of it happened because of anything other than the fact that I ate less times than most people eat. That did it. And now I'm here as the people's champion. And that is why I want my story to get out there. I want more people to understand it because it's really just that easy. And another side note, I had my wife, hopefully she watches this, not my wife, but this lady that I'm about to talk about. My wife's old boss happened to be in Williamsburg. She used to be my wife's boss when we lived in another city. She happened to be here and she came by with her husband and they sat down and ate dinner with us. And well, they didn't eat, but we ate. They had already eaten. They were coming by at the dinner time. I was eating some steak. And she was like, I can't believe how much weight you lost. She hasn't seen me in a long time, other than social media. And she was like, your social media looks impressive, but seeing you in real life looks even more impressive. I cannot believe this is Chris Wyatt I'm sitting in front of. And through talking to her and her husband said, hey, listen, I just got diagnosed with diabetes. And he said, I have been looking at pushing keto and I don't know what to do. And I don't know where I'm at in life. So I started to give him some educational tips on intermittent fasting and kind of where to get started and what to do. And so I didn't hear anything. It's been 2 weeks. And she texted me Saturday night and said, hey, listen, my husband and I would like to thank you so much. I'm down 12 pounds. He's down 18 pounds. We feel better. His blood sugar levels are better than they ever have. We've been doing a 16 and 8. We can't wait to move to an 18 and 6. You know, we're going to move it down soon. This is the answer we have been looking for. And I'm so blessed that I saw you that day. And that is what it's all about. What it's all about is just taking these people that are struggling right now and saying, hey, listen, there's another way. You don't have to complicate it because I didn't get into all that. I said, listen, if you want to do keto, do keto. But what I'm telling you is let's take a break from food and let's figure out this fasting thing and let's get a regimen you can enjoy and you can get rolling on. And what ended up happening was ended up making some good stuff and he ended up changing everything around. And I think he's on a path to a healthier him. And I think she is too. So that's an amazing little story I wanted to bring you guys as well. And you said some of you old people have got to get to sleep. All right, Jim, man, see you tomorrow. Lifting weights, getting his skinny on. So let's see here. You said you thought of me today. Well, that is so sweet. I appreciate you. But you're watching YouTube and saying high blood sugar causes skin tags. I saw that video too. I didn't click on it yet, but I saw that video because I definitely had skin tags. I mean, I can't even tell you how many skin tags I had. I had so many skin tags, and you know, the skin tags are all gone now, which is really cool. But yeah, I think that it definitely had something to do with it. I think high blood sugar 100% had to do with my skin tags, but you know, and I 100% definitely think it did. And then Jimmy says, no, you had already racked up about 14,000 before I started walking. Yeah. Well, I mean, what an amazing day you had, though. I'll tell you what, 44,000 steps. That is, it's impressive. No doubt about it. I don't know. Maybe one day I'll get there. That is crazy. You have a good amount of skin tags, John. Well, listen, I'm going to tell you what, my advice on that too. I actually, John, went down to see a dermatologist right when I started intermittent fasting. And I had already scheduled the appointment a couple of months earlier before I started doing intermittent fasting. So I had it on the books and I started fasting and I got to the office and they actually took them all. I got them all removed, which was really weird. They inject you with a little numbing medicine. And then I can't remember if she clips them or burns them. I want to say I don't know. It was weird, but I had to sit there for a ton of time while they removed each and every one of those skin tags. And I've gotten 0 cents. 0 cents. And I've been getting them since I was young. I had skin tags probably right about the time I hit puberty on through my life. So I had accumulated, I think she removed 80 or more. when she was removing them, and I've gained 0 since that day. So I do think it's blood sugar related. And so, John, if you are, I know you're already doing the intermittent fasting. So if I think you go to a dermatologist now and you have them remove them, I don't think you'll grow them back. And the removing isn't that bad. I thought it was going to be extremely painful. It really wasn't. Each one of them was a little sore to touch that night when I got home, but the next day I didn't even really notice. And it was totally worth it. And I'm 100% glad that I removed all of my skin tags. 100%. So I have no regrets whatsoever about that. And you said, Tattoo Woman said you lost yours, and I had heard that if I didn't have them removed, people have told me that the weight loss would have gotten rid of them, that they would have shriveled up and died over the course of time. But you think about skin tags, a lot of times the junk that you're putting in your body, it can't all be digested through your system. So you've got to put it somewhere, and you start creating stuff you didn't even think you were creating. And unfortunately, that can create things inside your body too, which aren't skin tags, which can lead to things like cancer. So, that's no good. So having whacked up blood sugar is never a good thing. I think they did. I can't remember if they freeze them, clipped them, or burnt them. They did something, man. But I do know that they burned them. I'm 90% sure they burned them. I'm 90% sure they might have froze it and then turned heat onto it to break them off. Something really weird like that. But it was a really quick process. She got rid of 80 of them in under an hour. And I just had to turn over, and she was, but I can remember smelling them. So it was a weird process. And it was, obviously almost 2 years ago now. So, it was, it was a lot, man. It was a lot of skin tags. So anyways, guys, I cannot believe that it has been a year on YouTube. And I just wanted to take one last moment here to sit down here and say thank you from the bottom of my heart to all 3,377 of you that have subscribed to me on this platform, that continue to promote me, to push like, to comment, to subscribe, to do all of the wonderful things that you guys do to help this thing grow. I look forward to the next year in 2020. And I ultimately look forward to how far I'm going to grow into the future. Thank you so much, Tattoo Woman. You are amazing. Thank you for the 5. You are just a wonderful person. I just want to thank you so much for being a part of this community. You're amazing. All of you are amazing. And I think that, it's an honor for me to be able to know that somewhere I'm reaching out to somebody and helping them in their darkest moment. And just wanted to let everybody know that I'm here to guide you to the light. I'm here to help you. So don't feel like you can't reach out to me. If you're in that struggle, if you have questions, if you're too shy to write your questions over here in the comment section, or if you something like that, send me a personal message on Instagram, email me. It's in the description of most of my videos. Send me a tweet, do whatever it is you feel comfortable to reach out to me, because I'm here to help you, and I'm here to do my very best to change people one person at a time and get us on a path to be successful, and give you the power and knowledge to know that you can do it. And the most important thing, my biggest message that I could ever make, is you not only can do it, but you can do it your way. You don't have to do it someone else's. You can figure this thing out with a little bit of effort and a little bit of work. I believe in each one of you. Thank you so much for everything you guys do to help grow this community. I'm going to go ahead and check out. So I'm going to have other videos popping up on the replay. Check those out too. And my face, it's going to pop right there. Click on it and subscribe to this channel. Much love to everyone for a year on YouTube. We're going to come right back here January 2021. We're going to celebrate with a lot more people. I appreciate each and every one of you. I'll talk to you on the next one. Peace. Much love.